guys, welcome to my channel with Azzy. Happy New Year's. Boo, 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 boo. I know I'll be saying Happy New Year for the entire year because I am just that type of person who'll be like, I'll meet people even still now. It's now the 15th of February, and I'll still be like, Happy New Year. And wish people a really good year. It's back to business. We're all trying to get back to the routine of school and of jobs. And those of you who are already in routine, we on. You know what's up. So yeah, guys, I've been up to a couple of things. A couple of weeks ago, I think it's been a week. My UCT certification was delivered, which has been one thing that I really wanted to speak to you guys about. And it was Valentine's yesterday. Happy Valentine's to everyone. I hope you guys all spoiled rotten, both men and females, please. I received a little something. So fun. I do have my phone in my hand because I feel like I tend to ramble a lot and I don't want to ramble. So yeah, welcome to my new subscribers and to my returning subscribers. Sanibonani, sabona mama, sabona mama ninjani, uyena, uyena impela. I am so sorry that I haven't been around for quite a long time, I'm gonna say, because child, I haven't been on the YouTube streets in a very long time. I did do a lot of content with my friends, and I had like a couple of like short conversations with them about certain things. I am gonna do like a sisters vlog on the channel where I'm gonna post all of that. And yeah, it's been a lot. I've been having to transition from working, and then 2 weeks before the year ended last year, I was on leave, and then by the 5th of Jan I was back to work. And it has been a lot, it has been a lot. I think a couple of days ago I registered for my second year because I am studying, and I'm studying a 3-year course, so I am on my second year this year. So I failed out of 9 modules last year. I failed 1 module, and I'm writing a supplementary for 1. And I'm very proud of myself. I tend to beat myself up a lot because I am a perfectionist, and it's just the thing of I don't celebrate myself enough. I will always just look for the next thing, and I'll look for the next thing, and I look. So it's like I get one thing because I got this now, and then I'm like, off to the next, off to the next. I'm never fully acknowledging that I did that. So my friend yesterday was like, listen, we need to celebrate this. This is my paralegal practitioner certification from University of Cape Town. It is a short course, and I'm about to plug you on how you can actually get yourself to be in this state where we have these. Yeah, so I just look what I'm going to talk about because I don't want to ramble too much. So yeah, I said Happy New Year. Perfect. What I've been up to, just really work and trying to get back into the zone of like having to work, having to study on the side, and challenges of being a young lady and having to just juggle a lot of like social life, work life, academic life, romantic life, just to juggle a lot of things, spiritual life. There's just a lot for me to juggle. So that's what I've been up to. I do have a couple of videos, as I said, that I want to edit and I want to post it on my channel. So please just check them out. I will be posting a couple of videos. Yeah, as I said, I hope you guys had a good Valentine's today because I had a ball. I also went to do a shoot for my friend who's opened a picnic company. I am going to put like a footage of what we took yesterday, like the footage we took, and she used me as her model. She is growing her business, so if you're in Cape Town, please hit her up. I will put her details down below. If you know me, I will promote you because I do believe in helping each other, because my clientele, or like the people that watch me, could be your clientele, you know, it could be your client. I was actually listening to the radio, and they were talking about like the percentages of students who passed and those who didn't make it. But you know what, it's not the end of the road. And for those who did make it, congratulations. And if you're struggling to get into university, listen, there is another year. It doesn't mean this year you can go to waste. You can do something with your life. You can do an internship, you can do short courses, you can try and get yourself to be busy, to stay stimulated, so that you don't, you know, become lazy and lose focus and all of that. Your dreams are still valid, even if you have gotten school or not. Your dreams are still very much valid. So basically, I got the certification through a website called Get Smarter. Get Smarter is, I think, a third party that is linking or bringing together the student and the university to fill the gap. You know, if you want to do like a course, a short course, just to get insight in something, they actually have all of those courses on their website. And I found that they actually work with so many universities that are actually big across the globe, internationally. So, and they connect you to them. And I know if you have Capitec, you actually get a discount on whatever the cost is for that course. So for the paralegal course, I paid about 14,000 rand, and it was about 4 to 10 weeks, or 10 weeks, I think. Yeah. And I just got my certification this year. It took quite some time. I was quite anxious about it, but what's nice with this is that your requirements are only grade 12, your matric certification, and then you can actually apply and study, because maybe some matriculants didn't actually get a job, not a job, didn't get an admission into a university. Then you can actually do these short courses in the duration of the year, so you don't have to be sitting and doing absolutely nothing while you wait for an admission at a university. And I apologize that you didn't get admission. There has been a lot of like difficulties with admissions into universities. I myself have been looking for schooling for 2 people that I do know that I am assisting to get schools, and it's been difficult. And being in the industry of always, not an industry basically, but like I'm always in the space of trying to help other people, or help people's children get admission into schools. You know, the first couple of times I did that, it was successful, but now it has become even harder, as the requirements have changed, significantly changed, and as the universities kind of like have changed their walk-in procedures and admission procedures, so it has become quite difficult to apply for school. That is why I do advise, if you are doing grade 12, you are quite late to apply, but it's okay. You can still apply because it's still beginning of the year. You can apply, use your grade 11 marks, and then when you get your grade 12, at least you have a student number. It makes things so much easier when you have a student number for admission, right? Okay. My phone became flat, so I have to also charge it. Guys, my life is falling apart. But anyway, and so that's how I got into Get Smarter. They have a lot of courses. Of course, they don't have the more practical courses like your nursing, your medical doctor, engineer, but they do have a lot of like corporate inclined courses like your risk management, compliance. They've got a couple of law courses that you can do. Like for instance, the paralegal practitioner is a law course that you can do. So I would say that if you know that you want to become, for argument's sake, you want to become a lawyer and you didn't get admission into school this year because of any reason, maybe you were late, maybe you didn't qualify, and you're improving your marks this year, what you can also do is that you can do this like a paralegal course, or you can do like a property law, whatever course they have online. You can actually do that. Sorry, I'm going to close my laptop. You can actually do a course so that it puts you almost in advance than the other students, because you won't only present your degree at the end of the day, but you'll present also a certification that you did in the gap year that you had, right? So you don't have to just sit and not do anything. They are pricey, so it does need you to maybe be part-time working while you're doing it. It only needs a certain amount of hours per week. So that's to say you're going to be having the rest of the week to yourself, and you only dedicate about an hour every day for your school to complete your tasks. You know, every module has tasks or assignments that you have to submit, and group discussions. So you will need Wi-Fi, you will need a smartphone or smart laptop, so that you're able to complete the assignments and the discussions and all of the above, right? If you have not passed your matric well enough to go to a university or college or anything like that, you can also go to SCPUT, I know, and some colleges. Saint Ndonkanele College, there's a college that's in Langa, that where you can actually, in Cape Town, Kwalanga, where you can actually improve your matric, and you can also register with Department of Education to actually repeat your matric or write certain subjects. I do not have information concerning that, but I'm also just giving you planting ideas so that you can go forth and actually inquire, ask the necessary questions so that you can get this information. I do know, particularly with the one with CPUTs, that you can improve. I think it's maths, it's maths lit, I think physics, I think English, I think Afrikaans, life sciences, and then there's 2 blocks on their form where you can fill out other subjects that you actually want to write, but you won't get tutored for those subjects. Any subject that's not in the list, you won't get tutored for it. They only have tutors for those specific subjects that they have on the list. So the maths lit, the physics, the life sciences, I think geography, but they have the list. I just don't remember anymore what subjects they have on it. But you can go to CPUT. They will send you to the offices for the upgrading of the marks, and basically you'll just fill in a form and all your information, and there you go. They do have classes only on Saturdays, so be mindful that the entire week you won't be doing anything. Saturdays you have to go to school. So if you are working, do make it a necessity to tell your boss that, listen, on Saturdays I can't come in, I can't work because I'm going to be going and attending classes. I think it's about an hour or 3 hours in total, but like each class is a certain amount of time that you have to attend. So let's say maybe you're doing maths and physics, you're improving those, and life sciences, then you know that you're going to be there for about 3 or 4 hours, because each subject is a certain number of hours or minutes. All right. And what's nice with that is that you can also just get in the week, you can try and go to like a certain school where matriculants are actually doing after school classes, or extra classes, and you can actually study with them to prepare yourself for the exam. They do write only at the end of the year with them. So I do know that Department of Education, I think you can register to write in June or in March, I'm not sure. But with the CPUT one, it is, I think it's quite cheap. I think it's about 1 point something, because it's only for admin fees, but otherwise it is free. That's the last time I checked. Okay, so things change. You have to also make your own inquiries. So that's with studying, and also if you are a person who's disciplined, you can apply to UNISA. You can apply, because UNISA doesn't have I'm saying UNISA because it doesn't have like a high entry requirement standard. So for most people do actually qualify to study at UNISA. If you're a person who's already finished your undergrad like me, you won't be financed by your NSFAS. But if you are doing your undergrad and it's your first time, then definitely NSFAS might just fund you if you are fitting in the criteria. Check out the criteria on the NSFAS website. I do not know it anymore. I don't know that your parents should be earning a certain amount. All of those. So you just have to check it out. So with the Get Smarter courses, you have to pay from your own pocket. Unfortunately, NSFAS does not fund you there, and it is quite pricey, as I said before. So you'd need to be doing maybe a side job so that you're able to pay the money. I know that you can pay one lump sum, or you can pay it in twos, like in halves, or you can actually pay it. You can pay it like in in 3 payments, right? You can divide it in 3 payments. um, I've also seen that some of the courses, the short courses, you can actually do from other universities, like the likes of Ivits University, UJ. Because I know this because what I'm studying currently needs me to. So I'm basically studying an undergrad so that I can study a postgrad. That postgrad is a short course. Shoot me now, because that short course is a postgraduate course. So you can't do it if you haven't done an undergrad. So that's how I know. Um, I'm saying shoot me because I'm just like, how can a postgrad be like a course that you can do over a couple of weeks? You know, I thought maybe postgrads are courses that you will have to do for a long time, for about a year or 2 years, depending on what you've chosen to do. But this one is only about 4 or 5 months or so from UJ. I'm not sure about the other schools. I did try and check it out on Vets University, but I was not really getting the information on how long it takes to complete the course. But otherwise, that's on studies. And then moving right along to jobs. It's so hard to find a job. First of all, it's so hard to find a job for me, because I'm transitioning from nursing to a course that, or a field that is completely outside nursing. It is quite difficult because I don't have the experience. And I was thinking with my paralegal course certification that I'd be able to maybe join a law firm where I'll be able to get experience, not necessarily in what I want to do at the end of the day, but it is part of law, right? So it is part of law. So I was thinking maybe I can get like some experience in the law field, but then I have so many problems. I don't afford to not have the salary that I'm getting now. I needed to sustain me throughout my studies and to be able to pay for my car, pay my rent, and so forth, and so on and so forth. So it has been really, really difficult. I've been also trying to maybe get a couple of trainings, even if it's just job shadowing, then I can use that as experience, because in the corporate world, you experience means everything. Experience means everything, and I've learned that you can actually use job shadowing as experience. So as long as you kind of like learning the job through someone else, and they're showing you the ropes and they're showing you what to do, they're asking you to print papers, make copies of this, you actually get to have a feel of what's going on in the field. You learn the terminology, you learn the language of the field that you want to be part of, right? And people take it for granted, but like honestly, getting a job with no experience is so difficult. And tell me, why is it expected that you you don't have any experience, you're fresh from school, but they want people who have 3 to 5 years job experience, and you don't have that? So I would advise doing like trainings. If there's like a workshop being done, try and attend the workshops. Workshops are so expensive. They're so expensive. Trainings are so expensive, but try and empower yourself during this year. Don't let this year just go down the drain without you having done anything relating to growth and development and self development. Okay, so I wrote here trainings. As I said, try and search up trainings, even just Google trainings or workshops on what can I say, on entity risk management, right? I'm sure you'll get a couple of those. Yes, the admission into the training will be quite expensive for you if you're not working, but try. I just paid my school fees, and I'm already thinking, yo, the the webinars that I held, and the workshops that I held for the field that I want to go into cost about 3,000 rand if you're not part of that organization. Because just like a nursing has a nursing council, that stream of work also has a council that you have to belong to. So if you don't belong to them, you have to pay 3,000 rand in order to attend the webinar. So it varies, but the prices varies from like 800 rand to like 1,000 rand, or like to 3,000 rand. So it depends. The last one I saw, it was 3,000 rand, and I was like, oh my god, I can't. And then I also said internships and volunteering work. Internships are very, very, very important, very detrimental. I look at them as comserve, as community service for nurses, right, as community service for nurses, where you get trained throughout the year. You do have some sort of accountability, but you also account to a certain person who will actually show you the ropes and try and correct your mistakes, teach you how to do things, introduce you into the work field. Okay, so you are under someone who you have to report to. You know, if they send you to go fetch a stapler, that is what you do, because you are still in training. Okay. And then volunteering work, I was thinking maybe if I could get like a small firm that would be willing to take me as a volunteer. But the problem is, when you're doing a nursing, you are off Monday, Tuesday, working Wednesday, Thursday, and then you're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And maybe law firms are open between Monday to Friday. That means I only work Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I only volunteer on those days, which also means that I might just be too exhausted when it comes to me working my normal job. Okay, because you also don't want to be not be confused per se, but also be derailed from the work that you're already doing, because my work needs me to focus. It's patient centered, it's people centered, so I have to focus. I can't, it's not like it's typing work where I have to type something and I make an error and I can always correct it. Okay, so that's been the difficulty. That has been the difficult thing about me doing the job that I do and trying to transition in another career field. Okay, I keep on saying okay. I'm sorry, guys. So I do really advise doing volunteering work. I know that it might actually take a lot from you in terms of your pocket, but it is worth it at the end of the day, because you can use that as experience, you know. Um, and so I just want to check. I also wrote LinkedIn and Indeed. So that's how you navigate getting to the spaces, is to make sure that you have an account on LinkedIn. Please create a profile. If you want to, go check mine. My name is Azue Number on LinkedIn, and you'll see that it says expiring compliance officer, because it's my route basically, and it says I'm a registered professional midwife. And it gives you my experience. It tells you about my educational background. It is very important to put all your details there. Be optimistic, you know, tell them what you can do, and what you're willing to do, you know, and make a post about it. I haven't done a post yet, because I was not ready to reveal what exactly am I doing. Also because I did feel like the company that I'm working for now feels or not the company I'm working for, but the council that I'm registered under, does not want us to have opinion over certain things. It does not want us to engage in certain things. And maybe if the company I work for was to find out that I'm actually training to become something else, it would be a matter of why not actually just leave the work that I'm doing, and focus on what I'm doing now. Whereas I want it to be a seamless transition into what I want to do. Of course it won't be seamless, but in terms of like me leaving that job into the new job space, I want that to be seamless. um, so it has been quite challenging, I'm not going to lie. It has been quite challenging. So please make sure that you, every day you have to check LinkedIn, you have to check Indeed. That those are the two that I've been using. I know that a lot of people use other platforms also to scout for jobs. um you know what, LinkedIn, what's nice about them is that they'll give you to the T, literally what they want in terms of experience. And what I normally do, I take chances. I'm a chance taker. I'll make sure that I apply for each and every job, because you never know where your breakthrough will be. I was just now telling my friends I've got imposter syndrome. Feeling like I don't qualify to be in a certain room. I never thought I had it until someone told me they had it, and I realized that actually I might just have it as well. And I posted something along the lines on my status today that who's gonna take me with my average marks, where there is a top student who's excelling in the same field that I'm in. Why would they choose me instead of that person? And someone actually replied to me saying that because God, sweetie, He will put you in a room that you never thought you'd be in. And that for me just sealed everything. because my stress was, what if I go to a corporate company and they want my academic record? What will I say when they see all of those 50s, you know? You know, when you average, when they see all those 50s and 60s, what will they say? Would you become top priority? Well, they even invite you over for an interview to say, listen, we want to hear you out. What happened? You know? Because I don't think companies actually really care, because they don't want a liability. They want an asset in their company. They want someone who's going to give and not take. You know what I mean? They want someone who's going to be on the ball at all times. So it can be quite difficult to navigate and invade. I want to say invade the working industry, especially if you don't have experience, you know, and especially if you're an average person, an average student like me. I am hardworking, but I've never had it easy in high school already. When I got to university, it even got worse. The first year I had distinctions all over. I tried, and the next year it was only going downhill from there, sweetheart. I think the pressure was too much. There was a lot of contributory factors to my marks and everything that went down. So as I said, create a LinkedIn account. Make sure that you have updated it. Make sure you update it all the time, especially when you get your certifications. Put it down there. Okay. I'm also trying to learn how to change my CV from a nursing CV to a corporate CV. And there's a friend of mine called Severe Boy. She used to do CVs, right? Corporate, and she'd help you navigate how to actually present your CV to potential employers. I don't know if she still does that, but please search her up on Instagram, Severe Boys, and you can hit her up on Instagram. I think she's a nice lady. If she doesn't do it anymore, she will refer you to someone that does, because the last time I spoke to her, she referred me to someone else. That person would basically help me navigate my career in the corporate field, and she felt that was the best person that I could speak to at that point. Indeed, I haven't really created a profile on Indeed, but it's good to have an account so that you can check on the jobs. But normally, the jobs you'll find on LinkedIn is the jobs you'll find on Indeed. Okay, so LinkedIn will give you like literally all the information, what criteria they want, how many years. I will apply. One thing about me, I know I'm still a student. I know I'm not done. I'm hoping and I'm praying to God that I'm finishing next year. Next year I want to do my last year, and if there are any modules that I did fail, I want to give myself the other year to actually pass those modules, so that I can also do my compliance in that same year. Then I know I am done. All right. So I wrote navigating, getting into spaces, and networking. So the first step to navigating is to make a LinkedIn profile. Be as professional as you can be. The way you want people to receive you is going to be displayed on your profile. Okay, if you're sharing anything and everything, no one is going to take you seriously. You have to engage. So that is to say, if you want to be in entity risk management, search up other entity risk managers. Okay, they call it ERM. Search them up, follow them, see how they move, see what they've studied, where they've worked. Try and follow in their footsteps, and try and put together a community of people yourself. Follow them, connect with them, and try and approach them. Sorry, there's a car that's like hooting outside. Try and connect with them. Text them, okay, on LinkedIn. Hi, my name is Azue Namba. I am an upcoming or an aspiring ERM, and I want to know how to get into the space. I've already done this, that, and I want to know how I can tap into the space. What would make it more of an advantage for me? Maybe what would make me stand out from the rest of the people who have already studied this? What would make an employer interested in me as an employee? All right, and you network that way. You can exchange emails depending on the person that you've spoken to, but generally people on LinkedIn are very nice. They're willing to help you, they're willing to advise you, they're willing to connect you to the right people. As I said, if you're interested, I'm going to say, for argument's sake, in compliance, if you're interested in compliance, make sure you follow compliance officers. You try and get into their spaces. I've also tried to follow compliance pages on Facebook. I've also tried following the compliance organization on LinkedIn, so that if they post something relating to a networking that's happening in Cape Town, I'm gonna be off on that day. Okay, how about I actually get myself a ticket and go there? You never know where your next employer might be based. You never know. So it is important to just penetrate those industries and those networking evenings and stuff. Sacrifice the money and the time. You'll ask me, how do I do it? I just try and network as much as I can, and I'm very driven to actually get to the point where I want to be in. On YouTube, I will be listening to other compliance officers. I'll be listening to a lot of people. I'll be trying to find out, what can I do to get there? What can I do to get there? My ultimate dream is this, but I need to go through compliance first, then I can get there, then I can get there. You have to do the necessary research. People are quite lazy these days. We are quite lazy as young people to actually go online and actually do the research. I don't sleep at night trying to search, where can I get the next opportunity? Who can give me the next opportunity? Where can I get the person who can give me the next opportunity? I understand that maybe I don't deserve to be in those spaces because I don't have the necessary paperwork, but I am working towards it. So for now, I have to try and invade those spaces, cement myself, and make sure that I leave a mark to never be forgotten by a potential employer. We are very lazy. I want us to put in the work. Put in the work. Like, you can't tell me I'm doing a full-time course. I'm working full-time, and I'm also doing a part-time short course because I want to make myself even more attractive to my next employer. I want to make myself more attractive to my next employer. And yeah, I might start off from a basic salary of half of what I'm getting now or quarter of what I'm getting now. But heck, I can work my way up there. I can work my way up there. Your dreams are valid. You can work towards it as long as you push yourself. You push yourself. It is dependent on you, not on anyone else, but you have to work hard for yourself. Not for me, not for your mom or your dad, but for yourself. I'm speaking to all the new matriculants, the new the newly qualified professionals, everyone. Literally, if this is for everyone, please make sure you put in the extra effort. It goes a long way. I promise you, you won't go wrong. Try and support your friends who are in businesses. Try and support everyone that you can support, because you will need that support when it comes back to you. When it hits back home that, oh, you need support, you'll get that support from your friends and fellow colleagues. So that's all I wanted to share today. I hope this video has inspired you to actually push boundaries. Make sure you cement yourself in spaces. And as much as we have all these mental problems that we are facing, imposter syndromes and everything, depression, anxiety, all of those things, don't forget that you will be in those spaces. You are able to do it. You have been given the strength, the mind, the wisdom to be able to penetrate into those industries, into those fields. And listen, God bless you, God keep you. May God just expand your territory. May He just grant you every wish that you have. May this year be a productive year for you. I wish you only the best. I'm also going to be fighting my own tug of wars. It's going to be a tug of wars between the courses that I'm doing and having to pass and all of that. But I trust God, and I trust God for you. So please do put in the work. Girl, don't text me the whole time. Do put in the work, do put in the effort. I love you guys so much. Please do subscribe, comment down below what is your ultimate dream. How do you think you're gonna go about it? Maybe a couple of people will comment on your comment and try and help you navigate it. Love you guys so much. Bye.